Hello all, Doc's here on Americas this time to get our pack. So I decided to speed up the brawl. Basically, I am going to be the priest in this one and decided to mute and narrate. So here, obviously, I don't want a 7 drop. But this is rather unique. I enjoyed it very much. Millhouse was a very good winner. So Mechazod, as you can see, is a 295. A 295. So basically I sped this up because it was like a 15-minute video, so now it'll be shorter, and I'm going to put both of them. I play as on Americas as the priest, and I am playing on, in the second video, I am playing on as the paladin. So as you can see here, generally it seems that Mechazod will usually always cast Assassinate, whether there's a fucking minion or not, the first turn. It was crazy. But so I opted for this one. So I wanted us to get some more cards, some more choices to play. So he's already at 6, as you see. So I thought this was very fun because you get to work together with another person instead of against them. So your thinking process is a bit different. You know, how can I buff? You know, some of your buffs can only buff friendly minions, right? And some of them, you know, so there's the Assassinate. Alright, so it's a slow start, but luckily he's only doing 6 damage apiece to us. So, I decide, well, some heals for me would be nice, and then I can just use my hero power to heal the Paladin. Even though the Paladin has heals, I can heal every turn. So, that was my strategy. I was like, okay, well, if I keep him alive, you know, and he buffs all the minions, I can put some out. So, you know, at this point, I didn't really know what was going on too much. At this point, I had already played on Asia and lost. And that's where I opened my pack and got my... He loves that damn Assassinate, doesn't he? So you get a minion all buffed up and then he assassinates it. Now this Lorewalker Cho is wonderful. If you got to time that correctly, and you got to hope, like if you're playing with a friend and you can talk to them, that's even better. But this was just, I just clicked brawl, so it's a random person that I do not know. So he gets all his spells, happy time. So he gets to cast lots and lots of them. I want to heal this one. I want to shield it, healed it up, because I got all of these buffs from him. So I've got all his paladin spells over here, so kind of nice, right? I buffed this because he's got 6 damage, so I buffed my Lightwell to 7 in case he hits it, so it still lives and I can get some heals still. So look, he buffs this one all up nice and pretty, right? And boom, what does he do? Assassinate! So he's got 27 health. The Pally does. I'm a little bit low. But I want to be able to put cheaper minions out because I've got some somewhat expensive, but I still want to be able to heal in case he does damage, because he can do 8 damage right here. So he pops us a heal. Mana cakes. He's at max, we're at max again, so we're doing okay. We're not taking... It's a very long fight, though. It's a bit slow. Slower than I would like, but there's a thought process involved, like what do I do? How do I maximize everything? That's why I think it's probably my favorite Tavern Brawl so far. See, we get all buffed up. So basically, you just want to buff up your minions. You want the more minions you have on the board, the better off you are. For the simple fact that he hits 3 people sometimes. So if you increase the odds of the which, you know, how many there are to hit, chances are you won't get hit in the face. So I want to heal him. He can do 10 damage, so he'll have 15 health if we get hit. So I can double heal thanks to my shielded minion down there. So I still want to keep a bunch of minions up there. So see, we just both got hit again. Double zap. So turn 8. Milling down his health. Pretty good. Not too bad, really. But he can do 12 damage apiece to us now. So he's getting pretty awful. So here I say, well, we've got to beat him up some while we can. I'll leave 4 minions on my side. See what happens. And of course, what does he do? He assassinates the biggest target. He assassinates it. So if he assassinates something, you got to sacrifice some things so that way he doesn't hit you in the face. Because 12 damage would not be very nice. And here I'm like, he's at 21 health. I put the King Mukla and I'm like, you know what? I feel he needs a heal. Something's telling me to heal him right here. So I don't know why, but I do. So I heal him back up to 27. And what happens? Look, he gets hit for fucking 12. And I don't get hit. So, good choice. Something told me to heal him. So I was like, well, yeah, I'll go ahead and do it. But, yeah. So watch this. Fucking bananas it up, right? 20 and then shields it, right? Perfect play. What happens? Assassinate. So at this point, 15 and 21. So even if he gets hit next turn, we're dead, right? So I'm thinking, well, we've lost. And he was thinking the same thing. I've sped it up so you can't really see that. So you see we both apologize to each other. We're like, sorry, man, we lost this thing. You know. If he hits us for 12 right now apiece, yeah, Sisu, I'm sorry. I'm sorry too. You know, so we weren't able to do it. But then what happens? So I look down and I say, well, my card is a draw card if he dies, so let's hit him and see what I get. But I got an Arcane Golem and I'm like, oh, there's 4 health and that's 2 health. So there we go. Top deck win. So, little rub some shit in, you know, a heal and stuff like that. So, boom. And there is our first win for the Tavern Brawl. Very nice.
There we go.
There's a new set of crazy rules each week.
And I don't know, I guess I might keep those. That's not too bad to start with. So we're on EU. We get double zapped first. And this is another random play. A random person. Was not a friend. I didn't get to communicate. If you do it that way, I don't know, you're taking your chances, right? Because you don't know if the other guy knows how to play well, understands the cards and all that stuff. Not saying that I'm the best either, by far. I make mistakes all the time, but I play for enjoyment, not to be stressed out, right? That's the reason we all play, is to have a good time. And of course, it always feels good when you win. But the card selection is pretty decent. It's not an impossible fight, as you've seen before. It was very close on the last fight, as me as the priest. You just never know how many assassinates he's going to have. You know, how many times he's going to hit you. So, at this point, as the paladin, I'm looking at all my cards and seeing, okay, I've got a few heals. Hopefully this guy heals me every once in a while, you know, when it gets detrimental. He can only do 4 damage to us now, so that's fine. But when that guy dies, I'm going to get, you know, I'm going to get a heal. Anyway, the zombie, when he dies. So I figure, well, I will just buff up. You know, the Light Warden is wonderful. When you heal somebody for 1 mana, you get the minion. It gets buffed afterwards, you know, when you do the heal. So that's a wonderful minion. The synergy between that is just beautiful. So I figure, well, I'm going to save the heal, the mana cakes, but I heal the minion instead. You know, so I'm like, no, that would be silly. He's just going to assassinate it. So I'll put this out because that will give the priest a card draw. Was the reasoning for my choice there. And so Millhouse is wonderful. I only got 1 spell, now 2. So I'm like, alright, how to maximize this? Neither one of us need a heal right now, so I'm not going to waste that. You know, but then I say, well, I'll just heal the minion just because I want to put it out there and put a shield on him and give him, the priest, a card. So at this point, he's kind of low. He can heal himself, but he's not. And then I'm like, well, okay. Oh, wonderful. Lightwell. Fucking perfect timing. So I don't really have to heal him. He can heal himself up. Unless that gets assassinated. So, just in case, I'll toss out this to bring him back up and bring me to 25. So we're both about equal. Him doing 10 damage, you know, that's 3 turns if he hits us in the face. And we're dead. So I'm trying to, I say, oh, I can't buff those minions, I can't shield them, you know, so I guess I'll shield my own for next turn, you know, and hopefully it doesn't get assassinated. Maybe I'll be able to buff it later. So this is a nice card, so I'm like, well, since I've got this one, I'll keep spawning minions and have a bunch on my side and then just kill them all at once and then have him buffed up. You know, like the other guy did in the first portion of the video in America's version. But I want to keep as many minions out as possible until we mill his health down a little bit more. So he's only got 1 health. It'd be silly to put it out, but it's not a big threat, so I'm contemplating whether or not to do it. So I'm like, well, I guess we'll smack him with the shielded guy and toss a heal on the priest. Which is a good thing that I did. So now I've got lots of little minions and I need to put some more cards out. So he's got a zombie chow up there, so if the zombie chow dies, I'm going to get a little bit of I'm going to get 5 health. He's got 2 zombie chows actually. And now he's got 2 fucking light wells. So I'm like, alright, good, he healed me. And he healed, and there we go. So now he's healed me up. So this guy, priest I was playing with, did a good job over there. So I think I added him, and he accepted after we won. But this was my first attempt on EU. Asia, as I told you before, I failed. The other guy died. Didn't heal himself up. But, you know, it happens. So, wonderful fact that this guy's got 2 light wells. And he seems to know what he's doing. I'm like, okay, 10 mana or 10, you know, it's turn 8, turn 9. What do I do? So I'm contemplating when's going to be the best time to do this. And then he has a spell. Mechazod has this spell. And you'll see it here shortly. And I'm like, what the fuck? A specific spell for Lorewalker Cho? That's bullshit. And he assassinates a motherfucker. Just like that. You know, that was giving me all the fucking priest spells. So it was wonderful. You know, if you could time that and synergize that properly, you know. So lots of cards. It's a wonderful. So that's why he fucking killed it, right? So here I'm trying to buff this one up as much as I can and protect it. So obviously, what happens? I can't hit with him now. So you know what's going to happen, right? Boom. So, but remember, when you hit the assassinate, or when you buff up a target, if it doesn't get assassinated, you're ahead. If it does, you save yourself getting hit for 10 in this case. So he just gave me an extra mana crystal, not that I needed it when he spawned that one out, but so I heal us back up. When you cast a spell, that guy grows, so I figured I'd shield him. So he could possibly get 2 hits out of it, get 18 damage. And then maybe he has a buff that he can buff it himself as well. So I've got 5 health and I'm hurting. So he pops that and he can heal me twice. So fucking beautiful. It was a wonderful job, right? And then he heals me again by killing the other guy so that if we get hit, I don't die. So this priest was on top of shit. So it's nice, man, working together. And 10 gold. So we'll add this guy. See if he accepts. Well, thank you all for watching. And until next time, Zox out.